This is a quick screencast walking through GrokOla's new API documentation and monitoring feature. You can go to the overview and see all of the reference wiki pages, and as you notice, there's also an API option here. This is where, along with your documentation for an application or an architecture or how-to, you can also associate API documentation. GrokOla has an API, and it's documented here, as you can see. I can go into the GrokOla Grok pages. Here is the wiki describing how GrokOla's API works. I can also, notice down here, go directly to the associated APIs. Down at the bottom here, you'll see there's 15 APIs that describe how GrokOla's APIs work. And these are just routes categorized by get, put, post, and deletes. And then I have description on their shapes, parameters, usage documentation, which I can edit, or I can create a new API. Besides being able to add APIs from GrokOla, you can also go to the admin console, and you'll notice there's a Swagger tab here, and I have three options. I can import Swagger API documentation. I can create an access token and use an integration mechanism such as Maven to have it automatically imported upon build, or I can write a script and use curl to post the Swagger JSON. I'll go ahead and import an API here. There's a test category, and I have a example application where I've generated documentation for already. Select that file, select my JSON, my Swagger JSON I produced, and as you can see, I've inserted 8 APIs. Here's my test category. It's a Spring Boot application. Here are a wiki page describing the application. It's just a Spring Boot application that has a RESTful API for its single page application. And here are the 8 APIs associated with it that I just imported. If I go to those, you'll see the API that supports this application. This was imported from my Swagger file. So besides documenting and providing information for users on the API routes, I can also watch changes and unwatch. A little eyeball here icon. If I click and unclick that, if any of these APIs change through an import or somebody adds or edits them, I will be notified. And finally, there is a monitoring feature that we have implemented. Go to the overview. I can see a summary of these monitored APIs. Right now I'm monitoring GrokOla itself and that Spring Boot application, their APIs. And all this is a monitoring of the usage of these APIs. There's a filter that you can apply at the API implementation point. That's a Java filter or a Web API filter if using .NET. Node also has a mechanism, and you apply a filter and it emits API routes to GrokOla, and here's the result of that. So as you can see here, I have all the APIs for GrokOla. As they're being used, near real time, it uploads them at a specified interval, and I can sort, and it's pretty useful because I can sort them ascending, descending, and see the most active APIs that are being used. I can see their method, and I can see the average duration, so I can get an idea of how long these APIs are taken to execute. Besides usage, I can graph the popularity. So here's the popularity we're getting. As you can see here, the most popular one is the user profile. Look at consumers. Right now, I only have GrokOla API being monitored, but if I had multiple, it would show them here. So as you can see, this feature of GrokOla can provide a mechanism to help govern the APIs that you have out there. Thank you for your time.
Check out the GrokOla demo on our website, grokola.com.